Hi, this is Carl with We Are the Retro Gamers. I'm on location at 8-Bit Hall of Fame with Mike, with Mac. I'm also here with Jason. You are the owner and operator, correct?
Yep.
So he was nice enough to let us come out here today and ask some questions about the store and ask him questions about the different items that have come through the store. And we figured we'd just have a little bit of conversation and then show some of the store too. There's a lot of cool stuff in here to look at. A lot of memorabilia, a lot of original products that are still in boxes, a lot of games that are opened, a lot of unopened games, something for everybody. So just, to kind of get started, we thought about asking you what was some of your kind of early memories of gaming?
I started off with the NES. My parents got my brother and I an NES for, I think it was either my second or third Christmas. My brother's a little older than I am, so we would play Mario and Duck Hunt, and I played Mario with the babysitter, and they beat it, and I'd sit there and watch. So, and then my dad, we'd play Duck Hunt in the basement with my dad and his friends. So.
Yeah, I know. I enjoyed Duck Hunt too. It was a fun game. It was kind of something that you didn't really think was a possibility as a kid. It's like, wow, how does this work? And now to get older and find out how all that works and how we've gotten where we are today, it's really neat. And then we've got a two-part question for you. What are the top 5 retro games or consoles that you have that you like to play or that you own?
So I still play the NES the most and the Super Nintendo. The Mario series, like the side scrollers, what I grew up with, so that's what I play the most of. And like Punch Out, the new Punch Out not new, but the newest Punch Out on the Wii was good, so I played that a lot. Waiting for the PS4, the Morpheus to come out, and I want to get into some VR. I don't do much with computers, so that's. Yeah, console one would be a lot easier for me to figure out. So
yeah, I saw in the Taco Bell commercial they're giving one of those away. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I want to win that. I don't really want to buy one, but I'd like to win it. Yeah,
and then the NX is coming out. So the Wii U, I play the Wii U the most out of the new consoles. But yeah, so that's kind of what I stick with is the Nintendo stuff the most. So
I'm kind of excited for that new little NES console to come out with the 30 games on it. I want to see.
Yeah, they already upped the price of that.
They already
started out at 60 and now it's up to 80 apparently. So.
And then the Sega Genesis has the AT games console.
Yeah.
I've seen those are around 40 and they've got 80 games on them. I want to try one of those out sometime. Yeah. Have you ever used those?
Those have been out for years. They just started advertising them, and I mean you pretty much get what you pay for with them since they're cheaper, so they're
probably won't last as long as the
exactly.
original thing.
Yeah. So,
And then, what is the rarest, most obscure console or game that you've seen come into your store? Something that's really hard to get your hands on?
I've had a box Sculptor's Cut was in here. I had a little Samson walk-in, and then with anything that's over like $50, I open and check. And that's another thing with the store, like everything's original, so anybody can, if they bring their bits in, or I have bits here, I can open any game up they want to see the inside of. So there was. The Panasonic Q was kind of a weird story. A guy called me and asked me if I took Nintendo Power magazines, and I said yes, and he brought in a big bin of Nintendo Power magazines, and then on top was the Q and the controller and all that stuff, so that was neat. The XI is still up there, the boxed XI. I mean, there's just stuff that walks in all the time. That's what's fun about it, is there's always stuff walking through the door, so you never know what's going to walk through. Like yesterday, a guy walked in with a bin, and it was kind of dirtier stuff. It looked like it had been sitting in a shed for a while, and it was a GameCube and a PS3, and the GameCube had the progressive scan cord, which and it was the original Nintendo one. I've never seen one of those in person, and then it had the broadband adapter hooked into it, and those don't come in too often.
Right.
And then the PS3 was the backwards compatible one. So it's just like stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
You look in the bin, and you don't think it's much, but then you start pulling it out, and it's good stuff. So.
And what made you decide to open up this store?
I collected my whole life. I used to go around in high school when my buddies, when people were getting out of gaming, I would go around and buy everybody's collections, and I did it again when people went to college. Yeah. And then once Blockbuster started shooting up everywhere, all the mom and pop stores started going out of business. So I grew up in Iowa, so I was driving around to all the mom and pop stores, which was one in every town. So So I hit every town and bought up all their video games when they were going out of business. So that helped a lot with inventory. And then I just sat on the stuff for years. I kind of hoarded it, and every time I saw something, I bought it.
Right.
So my house was just full of retro video games, and I had some pinball machines in like the dining room and stuff, and some arcade machines. Then I got married, and she was cool with it till we got married. So once we got married, she kind of wanted it all out of the house, because I mean it wasn't really practical. It was pretty much just set up in my house, so it wasn't really practical. She didn't really care until like her family came, and then they didn't have a place to stay, so they had to stay in a hotel because the extra bedrooms were filled up with games and stuff. So she kind of started the store. So I had a real job during the day, and I just I worked here at nights on the weekends, and then the Facebook page kind of blew up, and I quit teaching once the year was over, and now I just sit here all day, every day. So yeah.
Sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So.
All right. Yeah. And then it sounds like you've already answered the question already, but have you always been into gaming since you were younger, or is it something you've been growing into? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I've always been into it. It filled the need of hoarding, I guess, for me, just to collect everything I could find. So yeah.
Yeah, it's better than hoarding like old books or pizza boxes and trash.
Yeah. So it's always been. Habit. I didn't know that there was this big of a scene in the area, because I thought once I opened the store, I would sell out, like my whole personal collection would sell, and then I'd be stuck with like 8 months of a lease.
Right.
But so much stuff walks in every day, it's amazing.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. It's kind of been the opposite. I buy too much stuff now than, because so much comes in, it's hard to turn good stuff away. So,
right. Yeah.
So.
It's what keeps you in this paradise, being able to work here.
Yeah. There's so much stuff. So
awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. You've answered a lot of our questions that we've had, and now we're going to profile some of the stuff in here. So if people are in the area, they can come visit you and see what you're all about. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.